evening, family. Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele, with my beautiful wife, Lady Betty Bandele. We welcome you tonight to our show. Go ahead and invite all your friends to join us tonight. If you have adult children, this would be a good time to text them. Tell them to join the broadcast tonight. I've got some stuff to talk about. If you have even little children, just tell them to come watch with you. Some house cleaning. If you have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do us a favor and subscribe to our channel tonight. God bless you. And also press that notification bell so that when we come live to bring you contents like this, you will be notified. Again, thank you for allowing us to come in your home. Lady Betty, you want to say something?
Good evening, everyone.
That's all you're going to say?
Yes, I'm looking forward to what we're going to talk about tonight. I hope that it's very interesting and you all will be asking questions because I will surely be challenging Pastor.
Well, there's no challenge that I cannot tackle, like you all know. But tonight we are talking about the spirit of entitlement. The spirit of entitlement. And this was actually birthed in my spirit because my son, my buddy pal, Olufemi, him and some of his, brothers, Brother Akin and Brother Jonathan, they have a podcast, by the way. Let me put a plug in for them right here. They have a podcast called We Just Be Talking. We Just Be Talking. Great podcast. Try and subscribe to their channel. Look for them on all the social media and also some of the podcast broadcasting media. But anyway, they were discussing something about how they asked a question: do children owe their parents anything? But tonight, really, the spin I want to put on this is this spirit of entitlement. Do parents owe their children anything? Do they owe their children anything? Because, hard times, or Lady Betty, when people go through challenges, they tend to grow. If you look at an individual that's trying to build muscle, to be strong, to be muscular, what you do, you go through a lot of tearing. You work out, you are lifting dead weights, and what you are doing is you are tearing the muscle and rebuilding the muscle and tearing it down and rebuilding it, and it becomes hard as a rock, strong. The same thing in life. When people go through a lot of trauma and trials, a lot of challenges, they become great men and great women. Most great men and great women that you know today are people that endured challenges, endured hardships, and people that have gone through a lot in their lives, and they withstood the test of time, and they stood strong, and they are still strong. And so life challenges build great people. Pain is powerful. The power of pain. Pain is very powerful. So when you go through a lot of pain and a lot of challenges, you become very strong. You develop a mechanism whereby you are better. You come out better than you go into those trials. But unfortunately, great men and women produce weak seed.
Why would you say that, Pastor?
Why would I say that? Most great men, their children end up being weak. And the reason being, those great men think the best thing they can do for their children is to shield them and protect them from going through some of the challenges and the hardship that they went through that made them the great men that they are. And in doing so, those children become weak. And many of them develop the spirit of entitlement, where they feel like they are entitled to this and entitled to that. And in an onset tonight, I want to say to all my viewers, especially our young people, children, and all that, your parents owe you nothing. They don't owe you anything. Especially after they have fed you, clothed you, trained you, and you are now able to speak, you are able to walk, you are driving, you are going to work, or you're going to school. But then you develop this spirit of entitlement that they have to do this for you. And then they say something like, I didn't ask to be brought here. Well, they didn't ask for you to come here either. Anyway, Lady Betty, what do you think?
Well, Pastor, I'm going to have to say that I asked for them to come here. And I literally prayed and asked God for these children. And I realized that the Word of God says that children are heritage from the Lord. They are gifts. And one thing I know is that God wanted us to be fruitful and multiply. And there are parents that really didn't want children and feel that children are a burden, but children are a blessing from the Lord.
Okay,
and he that have his quiver filled is blessed.
Okay, I'm not saying they are a burden. I'm saying great men and women, they've created monsters because these children of great men and women end up being weak because they don't want to endure any hardship. They don't want to go through any challenges. And the parents, even in their old age, at the age of 70, 80, still trying to cater to these 50, 60-year-olds that feel like they are entitled to be taken care of. In so doing, trying to build them and help them, they really become weak. And then they develop the spirit of entitlement. I already got a lot of comments on our phone tonight. I know it's going to be hot tonight.
All right now.
Hakim 18 will just be talking. That's the podcast that I was just plugging earlier. Tasha, good evening. Alice, good evening. Miss Robert, good evening to all of you. Hakim 18 said that's cap. It's cap that I don't understand, but really he's saying that I'm not correcting what I just said, that children of great men many times develop the spirit of entitlement, that they are entitled to what their mother built or they are entitled to what their father built. And because those parents, though, they love those children so much and they try to shield them from hardship, and they tend to create weak children. I say something about, some of our men are mothered to death, just mothered to death, to where we don't have strong men anymore that have thick skin. You got thin skin. They're grown. I mean, look at the ex-president, Donald Trump. Just thin skin. I mean, he will lash out at a woman, at a disabled person. And because it's just, you can't say nothing about him, he's going to try to retaliate. He's just like a child, just childish. And that's what I'm talking about, that some of these children, they become weak because we overprotect them. We don't allow them to go through life challenges, to build character, to build integrity. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that they are a burden. They are not a burden. But there are things that parents can do that can create these weak boys and weak girls, and then they have a spirit of entitlement, and they go into an adulthood thinking the police owe them something, the government owes them something, the boss owes them something, Their neighbor owes them something. Their friend owes them something. Nobody owes you anything. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Pastor, I feel like if a parent has trained up their children the way that they should have, the child, once they are older and become adults, are now making their own decisions. And whatever decision they make are not based on the consequences of their decisions, are based on their own. We should always train our children. Children have a tendency when they become adults to either follow after the training of the mother and father or go a different direction. So it's not all the time that the parents are enabling the children and causing them to become weak, because some of them have firm foundations, but when they are older, they begin to make their own decisions based on their reasoning. And many have gone away from the structure that their families or their parents have taught them to establish their own. So I don't necessarily feel that all parents have weakened their children.
I didn't say all parents. I said, let me repeat what I said. Challenges and struggles of life have built great men and great women. Struggles and challenges. And these great men and great women, because of what they endured, they try to protect their children from going through the struggles and the challenges.
Is that normal?
And they end up creating weak children. That's what I said.
Okay, but when a parent do what they normally do, and that is to protect, to provide, is that what caused them?
I'm not talking about protection or provision. I mean, all this one, okay, viewers, if you're going to comment, I need you to comment right. Just one word comment. I'm not going to read it anymore because it doesn't show me anything, it doesn't tell me anything. Good evening, Sister Jeanette. Let me take a comment from Olufemi. He says, stop the cap. If you had relations without protection, you wanted to bring children into this world, or you knew it was a possibility they would come. That is correct, Olufemi, that is correct. But just because somebody has a relationship with a woman or with a man does not mean they're going to have a child. Yes, the possibility is there. It's a 50-50 chance. So it's even chance that that woman can conceive and bring forth a child. And there's another 50% chance that that woman will not conceive. Okay? So, and that's not really the issue. I appreciate that comment though, Olufemi. You are right about that, and that's not capping really. That's just biology. That's biology. You have a sexual relationship with a woman or with a man. There's a possibility. There's a possibility that you're going to be pregnant and then you're going to have a child. But when a child tell the parents, "I didn't ask to come here," to me that's a cap. If you want to talk about capping. Let me tell you why, and I'm gonna give my views. Even Olufemi, you said, or Akin, when I say, I didn't ask to be brought into this world. Well, I didn't ask you to come either, and they said it's a cap. But let me tell you why I feel like I didn't ask you to come either. There were over 1 million of you that was released from the man. You beat out every one of them to fertilize that egg. That makes you a Superman. You beat out 999,000 for you to fertilize the egg. That makes you special, that makes you strong, that makes you really smart, that makes you a winner. So you choose to be here. Because you could have laid down like the 999,000 that fell along the way. I just want to educate you on that biology. So when I said, I didn't ask for you to come here, and you said, well, you did. Well, It was a million of you that came out of that sperm. Okay? Almost a million of you. But you made a choice that I'm going to beat everybody. And that's great. That's actually a compliment to every human being that's born.
Amen.
That you are a winner. That you, and then you got in that, you fertilize that egg, and you begin to grow in your mother's womb. And you grow, you grow your lungs and your liver and your kidney and your arms and your eyes. I mean, that is awesome. 9 months you were building, and then you were born. What a king, what a queen, what a powerful man, a powerful woman that's born. And that's what I want you to understand. You choose to be here because you excelled everybody. You were the best. When your mama gave birth to you, you were the best of almost a million of you all. So I want you to reason with me real good before you say that's a cap. And that's biology right there for you. Now, let me thank you, by the way, Olufemi. Alice, that's true, Sister Betty, because someone told me that I cannot have kids. Okay, Betty said thank you. Tasha, I agree with you both because I feel like my children are a blessing from God. But as they get older and have been spoiled all their young lives, they feel entitled. I don't really think. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tasha, for saying that. And what we call spoiling is just, being a blessing to our children. Just, isn't that right? When you say you spoil a child, what do you think when they say you spoil your children?
I think it's something that we've heard other people say, and so we have a tendency to come in agreement with them. Sometimes a parent could love their child to the point that others feel they're overly protected or you're doing too much. But I've always felt like God has designed a mother to be just who she is. They're not all equal, and neither are the children, but each mother has a responsibility, and that's what they do. All mothers are not the same, and nor how they treat their children are the same. But I do believe that God puts something inside of a mother, just as well as a father, to bring up their children in good homes, in loving homes, where those children know that they are loved and cared for and that they matter.
What do you call good homes?
Where the father and the mother knows how to communicate well. There's not a lot of drinking and abuse going on in the home. There is discipline and correction in the home, and most of all, there's order in that home, and I believe that that is a good home. And others may define it different, but that is how I define
You said
it.
there's order in the home. Explain what you mean by order in the order in the home.
Where there's no chaos, where the children understand that both mother and fathers are authorities over their lives. That the father and the mother communicates well and are not divided by the children, but they come in agreement regarding the care of the children.
Is there a possibility that a lot of the problems that we have with some of the children have to do with single parenting? And my hats go off to the single mothers or the single fathers that trained their children and provided and supported their children. But being a good mother, there are some things you cannot teach a boy. And being a good father, there are some things you cannot teach a girl. We need both the male and the female in the lives of the children. What do you think?
I agree with that, but Pastor, since I'm a Bible reader, y'all, that's who I am.
I am a Bible reader too. What you
Oh no, I'm just talking about
insinuate?
me, honey. You can speak that you're a Bible reader for
Okay,
yourself.
Okay.
But I'm speaking of me. Okay, and I read in the Word of God, and so Pastor, maybe you can help me with this, that God said he would be a father to the fatherless. And many times I read that and don't necessarily understand that. So we know that we have these children, not that they didn't come by way of a father, but there's no father in the home. So, what does that mean when God says, I am going to be a father to the fatherless?
All right, viewers, again, I know many of you watching me from India. I know this because I've checked my stats. And some of you are Hindus and some of you are Muslims. I welcome you tonight. Some of you are even atheists. I welcome you to our program tonight. I don't want you to be offended. But, you know, she says she reads the Bible. I read the Bible also. But I'm not having a Bible study tonight. I have Bible study on Wednesday at the church. I want to deal with the spirit of entitlement. Yeah, we can use some of the training from the scriptures that we have gotten in our lives. And when it comes forth, it will come through like that. But I just want to let you know we're not trying to preach to you. I want to have dialogue. I want to have an open dialogue to see if we can come to a point where we understand what needs to happen in our homes. So thank you very much, Tasha, for that. I'm going to go to Hakim 18. As a kid, they have the least amount of control of being here or not. No, I don't agree with you again. There's only two of us. We didn't ask you to come here. There is almost 1 million of you that was released.
Maybe you need to explain that, Pastor.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to get too graphic. When a man and a woman have sexual intimacy and he ejaculates, he produces sperms. There are almost 1 million of them that are swimming through the into the woman. But out of almost 1 million, there's only one that fertilizes the egg. Only one. And I'm going to say it again. That makes that one a hero, a champion, a winner, a king, a queen. That makes that one really special. So that one has the...
This is good, Pastor.
That
good.
one could have lay by the wayside and be dead, you know, just dead like the remaining 999,000. Okay? But that one went through the birth canal,
yes.
Through the canal, went through adversity, beat. I don't know if you understand the concept.
I do, Pastor. I get it.
That you beat 999,000.
Yes. Swimmers, huh?
And then you're talking about, well, I didn't ask to come here. Joker, yes, you did. You wanted to win. You are a winner. You wanted to succeed. You wanted to come. You wanted to fertilize. You know.
I put it this way, Pastor?
Let me finish for a minute. Because I need to deal with it. Because many times when children are born, they feel helpless. They feel like, especially when life is not going the way they think it needs to go. They don't understand. You beat 999,000 to get here. Mm-hmm. Guess what? After you got here, you can beat another 9 million. Because now, see, can you imagine with no feet, no hands, no lungs, no eyes, no kidneys? You swam through the canal and beat that many. Can you imagine after 9 months and you built your ears are built, your eyes are built, your little tiny muscles are built, your fingers, your 10 fingers, your 10 toes, and now you come out here, man, like Kunta Kinte. You are powerful. You choose to beat everybody. And that's what I'm trying to tell you again tonight. You need to make a choice to beat everybody that come in your life. And it's not about win-loss situation. It's about you being the best that you can be. So that's what I'm going to say for that. Go ahead.
Amen. I want to put it this way. Like Pastor said, there are, I'm going to use 10,000 individuals. And all of them want to make it in. But you are the one, and I know you don't see yourself because as a person at the time because you were not yet formed. But you know how a child goes through stages. So this sperm was you before you ever got your body. And you and so many others were trying to get to the egg. But you were the fastest because you wanted to get there.
Yeah.
You wanted.
You were the fastest, you were the best.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of hard to grasp it, but I do understand it because they're swimming. Just think about you're in the pool with some swimmers. And all of them are trying to swim to one area.
To win the prize.
In the pool, yes, because that's where the prize is. But you were the one that beat all the others to get to the prize.
Come on now. You ought to clap for yourself. I don't care if you're on the side of the freeway begging bread. I don't care if you're in the hospital room right now. It doesn't matter if you have no job right now. You need to pat yourself on the back. You made it here. And now that you are here, and you're still here, you are still making it. Even though there may be life challenges, maybe unemployment, a little pain here and there, a little sickness here and there. But listen, your value has not changed. Your value, even though you endured cancer, you endured pain, you endured abuse, your father left you for dead, your mother abandoned you and all that, you are still here because the same potential that you came to the planet with is still driving you. Millions didn't make it this morning, but you're still here in spite of what you've been through. See, you've got to see yourself in that light. And that is the way God actually sees you, that you are a champion. You are more than a conqueror.
But let's go to...
Now, let's go to this. I want to... Hakim 18 as a kid, they have the least amount of control of being here or not. I answer that. Parents take responsibility until you have properly trained up your kids to live in this world. I totally agree with that 100%.
Amen.
Parents ought, because that child, once that child is born, that child been working for 9 months to build all these cells to be built. And now when that child is born, the parents need to help. It's your responsibility to take care of that child, give the child milk, nutrition, sleep, clean, let them grow up, teach them. And so that second part, Hakim 18, I agree with you. Before I go to my next comment, you want to make a next comment on my line? You want to make a comment?
I do want to say this. I understand what the young people mean about this was something that the parents wanted. Before the child ever wanted it, the parents did. And because we wanted it, we're training them up. But what the young people have to realize, with all of the training and all of the teaching, my son once told me that the teacher is silent during the testing time. And testing time comes to prove what you have learned. You're not a failure. It's to let you know what you have learned. So whatever decision you make after you are grown is on you, not on your parents. So there is a lot of, I've heard people say, don't be ignorant over the laws of the land. There are many books. There are teachers. There are so many people that will teach you and give you knowledge on the laws of the land. Yeah. So when the real finger is pointed, once you are able to make decisions and you end up going in the ditch, it's not your parents' fault that you went in the ditch. It's a decision that you have made. Now, as far as entitlement, I don't believe your parents are entitled. Just as
no. That's what I'm talking about entitlement. I'm talking about the spirit of entitlement from the children.
That's what I'm saying.
What you say you don't believe your parent was entitled.
Yes, because the children feel like the parents are entitled to do something.
So no. You're using that word incorrectly.
Okay.
The children feel like they are entitled from the parents. The parents don't feel entitled, but the parents feel maybe obligation. So you can say my topic tonight is developing the spirit of entitlement.
Yes.
Now the parents feeling entitled.
No, it's not the
children
parents feeling entitled.
That's right.
We're saying the same thing, just in a different way. That they feel that I'm entitled to give them whatever they need.
Okay, you're using the word wrong again.
Okay.
the children feel like I am required, not entitled.
Okay.
Okay, entitlement and requirement are two different things. That's English.
Okay.
So I'm required as a parent to take care of them. Okay, but they're not required to take care of me. But the spirit of entitlement simply is when you feel like this person owes you something. That's the spirit of entitlement I'm talking about. Okay. Let me go to Alice said, grown children don't owe their parents anything, but to have a relationship of honoring their parent with love and respect. Thank you very much for your comment. That's very good. That's very good. Olufemi, it might seem lopsided or unfair or even deemed wrong, but when you become a parent, that is a lifelong commitment to the children. Yes, you are correct. If you choose to stop, that's your prerogative. Well, I'm not talking about stop parenting. That's not, but I understand what he's saying, that parents should, well, if I'm 90 and you are 70, I'm still your parent.
That doesn't change.
It doesn't change, and that's never going to change. And I'm committed to my children. So we're not really talking about commitment, requirement. We're talking about the spirit of entitlement.
Amen. That's a difference.
There's a difference. Alice, yep, that key. Keon, you are the one, and you made it through. All right. Yolanda, Minister Yolanda, if a parent prefers to be buddy-buddy with their children instead of walking in the steps of a parent with guidance, could this cause a child to have bloodlines of entitlement? You know, Minister Ford, you might be right about that. Now, buddy, meaning, you know, I'm 60, you're 30, and we're going to the same club and smoking the same joint. And you're not parenting. You just being your child's buddy. You know, you're sleeping with your daughter's with your son's girlfriend, because you all are friends. You don't see yourself as a parent. You know that happens actually. Where I've seen where this man slept with their son's girlfriend, because they look at their son as a friend, a buddy. So Yolanda, you may be right about that. I'm not a buddy. Now I'm friends with my children, but I'm a parent first and foremost. I'm friendly towards them, but I'm a parent first and foremost. And you are right also, when a parent does not know their function, when you don't know why, when you don't know your role, you can cause a child to become entitled to some things because you don't know your role as a parent. So the problem can go both ways. She gave an example, mother and father, both in the club, hanging out, smoking together. So the children, or this boy, the girl, they learn from their parents. Somebody said the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So again, I still believe that we need to allow our children to go through challenges of life.
What do you mean by that, Pastor? What would you say? Because
through struggles.
But one of the things I found
No,
out
I just told you what I meant.
is that no matter how we say that we are trying to prevent them from going through struggles, regardless, they will go through struggles.
Let me give you an example. I know a guy that's a millionaire. Mm-hmm. I mean, multi-millionaire actually. And when his daughter got to, I'm not going to mention his name, many of you may even know him because he's a very popular guy. When his daughter got to be 18 and driving, mm-hmm. led her to Burger King, a hamburger place, to go work. And the daughter said, Dad, I don't want to do that kind of work. All they're doing is pay minimum wage. The dad said, well, you can do that, or you can pack your bag and go find your own place. Because you seem like you're entitled to my multi-million dollars. You're not entitled to my money. My money is not your money. But what I leave for you, what I do for you, I do it out of my heart. I leave you an inheritance. I help you while I'm alive. I train you. I pay for your school fees. But the daughter was very upset that her dad dropped her off at Burger King to work at Burger King. Now, I have another situation with a friend of mine that, his daughter was working for him, but she had a spirit of entitlement. She wouldn't show up for work. Half of the time, she didn't come to work on time. She was late all the time. She didn't do what she was supposed to do. So she got fired. And she had to go find a job somewhere else. If you're going to act like that, and I applauded that parent, because you are training your child that life, the world is not going to be fair to you. Just like the 999,000, they were not fair to you. They fought you for you to get here, for you to fertilize that egg. The same thing. It's not going to be 999,000. It may be 999 million that will be against you. And your parent has to prepare you to be able to face life challenges and life struggles. What do you think? I'm going to let you come in, and then I'm going to go back to our viewers.
Back again, we do train up our children, and when they're older, they have a choice to follow the instructions or not to follow those instructions.
Stop right there. Okay, so they have a choice. So you train them. You say they have a choice.
Yes, they do.
Okay, now they made their choices, and they put in handcuffs and put in a slammer, in jail, in prison.
Okay.
As a parent, am I responsible to go bail you out? I hear cricket.
Are you responsible to leave your child in a prison for the wrongs that they have done and feel unobligated to do anything about the consequences of their choice? That is a good question, because when I consider the
You give me an answer, though. It's a good question, so give me an answer.
The consequences of my choices, I understand that my parents don't have to come in
and bail you out.
And bail me out.
Okay, that's the answer.
But my hope is that they will, as a parent.
Yeah, keep hoping. Hope is good. It's good to have hope in life. And that's what I'm getting at. If you are trained by your parents, maybe your parents train you not to drink excessively. Okay? Not to drink excessively, not to get drunk. And if you get drunk, order a Uber. Don't get behind the wheels. But then you choose to get behind the wheel because you are this big and bad, ugly bear that want to prove to everybody that you are big and bad and you can drive drunk as a skunk. And then you get in an accident and kill a mother, a father, and 2 children. And you are charged for manslaughter. And they put you in prison for life. Now, first they have to find you guilty and all that. So if you don't have an attorney, they assign an attorney. As a parent, should a parent go spend thousands of dollars to go get an attorney for that boy or that girl? Yes or no?
That's another good question, Pastor.
I know it's a good question.
And that's a hard decision for me, because as a parent, I know for me, I can only speak for me. I just have an obligation. Not that I'm, what's the word you used?
The obligation is the right word to use. Don't use entitlement. Entitlement is not the right word.
I don't feel entitled, but I feel that I have an obligation toward the son of my womb or the daughter of my womb.
You're still using that word incorrectly. It's not about entitlement. Yeah, now you feel obligated to go
That's
help
not,
them. Well, you said
Pastor.
entitled.
No, I'm sorry if I said entitled.
Yeah.
I thought I said obligated. I feel obligated because of my love toward my children, is that I probably can't get them off from what they've done, but I want to be there for them.
If you are joining us tonight, thank you for joining us. Thank you for. We are talking about the spirit of entitlement on our program tonight. What's going on? How I believe children of great men, children of wealthy men, they end up developing the spirit of entitlement, that they feel like they're entitled to certain things in life. And I mentioned that they said, well, I didn't ask to be born. And I'm telling them, I didn't ask for you to be born either. You came because me and Mama got together,
and you had no
now
intentions of having any children.
1 million of you all came out, and you decided I'm the one that's going to win, and you won. And I applaud you for that. Anyway, let me go on. Yolanda, is the spirit of entitlement the same self-righteous spirit? Little Betty, is the spirit of entitlement the same as self-righteous spirit?
I don't think so, because I feel like when a person is entitled, maybe because of a portion of knowledge that they have, that as a parent they feel and that the parents are obligated to provide and do things for them, because in reality, even though Pastor said what he said, I'm pretty sure he wanted a son. I'm pretty sure he wanted a daughter. It wasn't just the pleasure of being intimate, because even when I look to the Word of God, I'm sorry, that's just me, y'all.
I didn't say I didn't want them.
No,
See,
I know you didn't
don't get
say
it
that.
misconstrued.
No, I'm not saying
What
that.
I'm saying is the same thing they said. I didn't ask to be born. I said, yes, you did.
But I think for the parent, okay, they saying they didn't ask because before they could ever have an ax within them, or ASK, mama and daddy had already decided, I want a child.
Yeah, but I didn't say I wanted you.
I get that.
So don't get it twisted. 1 million of you all got released.
Yes, I understand.
You
that,
are the winner. I never want you to get. See, this is a problem with the spirit of entitlement. You came a winner, and you want to be a weakling.
I don't think that,
You came to this planet as a winner. You came to this planet building. You came to this planet, when you were born. Somebody said when a child is born, when a child is born, he comes to the world crying.
I hear you.
And when you leave the world crying. The world is crying when you leave. When you come, you're the one crying. But you see, what I'm trying to get you to understand is this. You cannot constantly blame somebody else.
Amen.
For your ignorant, stupid decisions.
Oh no, Pastor.
Oh yes,
Lady
Betty. Let me. I speak English very well.
Bless
You are not going. You cannot blame the white people. For you, ebony folks in 2023 saying, it is the white folk that didn't let me get ahead. Shut your mouth. You were not a slave. Your great-great-great-great-grandparents were slaves. And they tried their best. They were taken against their will from Africa. And many of them died. They jumped out of their boat and drowned and died. They didn't come on a cruise ship. They came on a hard ship. And they got here and struggled and struggled and struggled through slavery. And many of them made it. They died while they were making it. They died fighting for liberty. They died fighting for freedom. They died. But then, several generations later, we became weaklings. The white people are holding me there. They put their foot on my neck. I don't care if you're white, black, green, yellow, or no color, or orange, for that matter. You put your foot on my neck, just make sure it's not close to my teeth. Because by the time I bite off about 2 or 3 toes, you're going to take your foot on my neck. Okay? Listen, I'm not saying there are not injustices in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you came here a winner. You got to continue to hope and believe in yourself that you are more than a conqueror. You are victorious. You are powerful. You are anointed. You are reliable. You are dependable. You are anointed. You've got to know that. And stop playing this role of, oh, poor me this and poor me that. Lay that aside and start thinking about how are you making decisions. Nobody is making you driving 90 miles an hour and then they seize your driver's license. You did that. You can blame your parents for that. You can blame your parents for not having an insurance. If you got 18, you get to be 18 and you're able to buy a car and drive, or somebody purchased you a car, they should have trained you that you need an insurance. But they can't be behind the wheel for you if you're driving 90, 95 miles an hour. Just like, when you go to the party, did somebody hold your mouth open and pour the liquor in your mouth to get drunk? No, you made a decision because you couldn't control yourself. But once you made that decision, then you made another bad decision to drive drunk. And now you kill somebody. And now you're looking sorry. You're feeling sorry for yourself. And you have this spirit of entitlement that, where should I come bail me out of jail? No, ninja. You're going to stay there and face the fire. Spend the night in jail and see. I'm going to come back to the platform. Let me give you an example. Do you know how a butterfly is so beautiful, Lady Betty?
Yes, I do.
When a butterfly, before the butterfly that you'll see that's real pretty. You know what makes that butterfly strong and pretty? Struggles. The butterfly, when the egg is laid, and it grows and it turns into a larva, and it begins to crawl on the floor, right? And then they do something for themselves after a while. What do? They build a cocoon. Are you with me?
I hear you.
They build a cocoon, a hard shell cocoon. And they grow inside that cocoon. They are growing wings and legs and eyes and. Now, it's time for them to showcase and fly. And you know what they do? They struggle through that cocoon. They struggle and stretch and try to tear the cocoon. And finally they struggle to come out. And they fly. And you see the beautiful butterfly. Well, there was a story of a little girl that saw a cocoon. She saw the little beautiful wing. And the butterfly was struggling in the cocoon, just struggling. In her innocent mind, she wanted to help the butterfly. So she got a little pin and began to tear the cocoon so that it was easy for the butterfly to come out. And the butterfly sure came out. And the butterfly flew for about 30 seconds and fell to the ground and died. Because that butterfly never built no muscle in the struggle. The struggles of life strengthens you.
With you going back to slavery, that's heavy my heart. And when I think of the process of what people have gone through to get to where they are today, the injustice. But I want to say this about our children. They grow up dependent upon us. They start depending on mama to feed them. So that is a natural thing that I'm dependent on you, mama, to feed me and to give me milk.
Okay.
I'm dependent on you that when my diaper is dirty, that you will change the diaper.
Okay.
And through a process of time, as a parent, we have to teach our children not to be so dependent upon us. So maybe that's the cause sometimes of them, because as they grow, we're still the same way. They couldn't feed themselves, so they were totally dependent on mama. They were totally, they couldn't provide for themselves.
Yeah, when they were young.
So they're totally, but if we as parents
Do you?
haven't trained them nothing more than to depend on us, because sometimes we
No, no,
keep-
no. Finish
wait,
your sentence. Finish your sentence.
I'm not going away from it. I'm staying. Sometimes we train.
I don't
them.
want you to jump around too much. You are on a vein that I want you to keep moving.
I'm not leaving it.
Yes.
Okay. We train them and we continue in that training for them to depend on us. We never really sometimes teach them how to become adults and become dependent. So sometimes we keep them dependent on us.
Okay, so you have a 30-year-old, then you go and wipe their butt?
But that's the way we train them.
Oh, really? You
yes.
train them to go to the restroom with a 30-year-old boy and wipe his butt?
And I don't mean you're going to the extreme with that.
That's not
part,
extreme. I'm
but
just asking
just
questions.
saying-
Hey, guys, am I being extreme? I'm just asking questions.
No. Like many times we don't teach them to depend on us to go. We want them to go potty, but there are other things that we do that allows them to keep dependent on us.
Like?
We're still making decisions for them.
Like?
And many times because we don't want them to fall. We want them to keep, okay, even
Now you
when they...
back to what I said in the beginning of the program.
Or maybe you brought me back to
Great men and women end up creating weaklings because you just circle back to what I said in the program.
I guess
with.
I don't use weakling. I don't use that word.
All right, let me go back to my, okay, I've got Akin, Jacko. Jacko, thank you very much. Parents now are microwave parents. They let the kids run the house and
Come
don't
on.
listen to you, what you have to say. Back in the day, one time something was said, next thing they go in, okay, basically she's saying, in the old days, parents give you instructions, you don't do it, they discipline you. They go, she said they go in your head. They go inside your head. All right, Jacko. But in other words, they'll tell you, hey, man, if you don't shut your mouth, I'll slap the teeth down your throat. They don't allow disrespect. I remember growing up, in a large family in Africa. My dad, we woke up at 6 o'clock. I don't care if you went to bed at 5. You will get up at 6 o'clock because he will ring that bell for us all to come to the prayer room. And we're going to say our prayer. 6:30, everybody had chores in the house. You swept the floor. You cleaned the bathroom. You took out the trash. You dusted the window. We had chores. And you better not talking about you didn't do it. I mean, my dad will whip you with an extension cord. We're going to come get him. And he'll tell you, I'll send you back to Jesus and make another one that look just like you, maybe even better than you. So, Jacko, I hear you. Parents back then disciplined their children. They love their kids, but today we have to be careful because some parents abuse their children. So I guess that's why the discipline has been cut down. Thank you very much for that comment, Jacko. I see another comment from Akin. If you have sexual relation, you want a child, period. No. That ain't true. And Ninja, stop saying that. There's a lot of people that even buy sex that didn't want no children. So don't say because somebody else said they wanted children. That's not true. So stop saying that. But if you have a sexual relationship, there's a possibility that women can get pregnant. But you didn't. I know, you think these men that are sleeping with prostitutes want all these prostitutes to have children for them? No. It was all about sex. Anyway, let me move on. I think he's messing with me now. Let me read it. If you have sex, you wanted a child, period, because there's always possibility that you might have a kid, protection or not. Your intention might be to prevent a kid, but at point you shouldn't. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. New solutions. Thank you for joining us. Certain groups of people have become a cash crop for the judicial system in this country. Oh, now he just opened another can of worms right there. Okay. Thank you, New Solutions, for that comment. And all the young men is thanking Lady Betty. Well, you don't have to thank me. If you're a young man, you are 18, 19, 20, 21, nigga, go get a job. That's what I'm going to tell you. Or Ebony Folk or Ninja or Vanilla Butt, go get you a job. If you're not handicapped, you need to learn to work. Work does not hurt anybody. Work is an antidote for poverty. So go get you a job, and if you cannot get a job, employ yourself. You know how to fry chicken? Start Akin chicken stand. You know how to mow the yard? Start your own mowing company. Do something. You can't stay around. I've seen 40-year-old men don't go to work. All they want to do is shoot dice. And you call that living? Don't get me started tonight. You don't get me started, okay? I cannot stand lazy people. You need to go to the ends and learn from them. If you're a lazy bum, you're just a lazy bum. There ain't no other word for it. If you get up in the morning and you ain't got no plan to do anything but to sit around, play video games, watch television, shoot dice with your friends, and hoop with your friends, all of you are broke together, and you're going the wrong direction. Life is more than just playing. Work is an antidote for poverty. You must work. I don't care if you call it a curse in the garden or not. You have to work. If a man doesn't work, he should not eat. So, hey, brothers, go get a job and go start your own business. Do something. All right. If you never taught that kid how to wipe himself, then you might have a 30-year-old adult who don't know. I'm through with that one right there. I'm through with Hakim 18. Vivian, but when the mother and father made a request for child, God answered them.
Amen.
We as parents need to find out why they are saying they did not ask to come here, because the enemy is trying to exit here or to get them out of here. Well, yeah, I understand that what you're saying, Vivian, that you pray for a child, God gives you a child, you nurture them, you cherish them, you protect them, you provide for them, you train them, but when they become grown, you want them to live their childish ways. You don't want a 25-year-old still especially when they are not challenged or handicapped. And you don't want a 30-year-old, peeing in the bed and pooing in the bed. Okay? You don't want a 30-year-old man sitting in your house watching TV all day. It's got to change. So Vivian, when the mother and father made a request for a child, God answered them. That's great. Get them to exit here. They are blessings from God. I did not say they are not a blessing. They are a blessing from God. That's why you train them. That's why you protect them. That's why you provide for them. Thank you very much, Vivian. Olufemi said, cap. I think he likes that word, cap. Work is not an antidote to poverty. They have plenty of people who have worked for 30 to 40 years and still live in poverty. Let me correct you. Let me school you. When you work, you earn income. You have to know how to manage that income and also multiply that income. So that's the expansion of that statement, that work is the antidote for poverty. So when you are able to work, then you also need to work on learning the money that you are paid. How do I manage it? How do I budget it? How do I you work for your money, and then you need to teach your money to work for you after you earn enough of it. Let's say you make $1,000 a month. You should not get a vehicle that's $1,200 a month car note. That's bad money management. So yes, if you don't work, you have no chance. Yeah, you go play lottery. You need money to go buy the lottery tickets, okay? So you have a better chance, Olufemi, of not being poor if you work and you have a good work ethic and also you have good money management skills. And when I say wealthy, wealthy doesn't mean a millionaire or a billionaire. It just means you're able to pay your bills, you're able to eat food, you're able to take care of your children and say, I have a little bit left over for yourself to do what you want to do. That's what I mean by wealth. And also to stay healthy to where you are not sick all the time. So, and work also build character. Or if you don't work for something, you're not going to cherish it. If you don't, I have a young man that I helped to buy a car at our church because I was the one that helped him. He didn't care. I mean, he drove off a parking lot at a party and left the bumper right there. He saw the bumper falling off and he drove off, tore the bumper off, and mistreated that car. Well, the car got repossessed, and then later he wanted me to help him again. I said, no, we don't. You gonna buy your own car this time. When he bought his own car this time, guess what? He's taking good care of it. Because he got on his feet, he was walking and bumming rides for a while. So, Olufemi, I still think when you work and you have a business, you have a better chance than somebody that does not want to work and does not want to start a business. So that's what it means by work is an antidote for poverty. In other words, you have a chance. Just like medication cannot heal you, but you have a chance of getting relief from the medication. It's the same thing. Working and starting a business, you have a chance of creating wealth for yourself. All right? New solutions. Parents sometimes torture their kids. Back then, it was abuse, and it's the same today, abuse. The difference today is that we have a system in place to protect the children. Okay. Well, I thank God for my daddy abusing me then. If that was abuse that he did to me, I sure thank God for him. I would do it over again for him to abuse me. Because what he did cost me to come to America and save 50% of my income every month for almost a year. Because that's what he taught me. It was abuse. But I love that abuse. Because I felt it was abuse too. I work for my money. Why don't you just let me buy what I want? I live in your house. He said, no, you're going to put 50% in the bank. And if I didn't, he would whip me. He would discipline me. So I don't mind that abuse because that abuse taught me to manage money. So again, if I have to do it all over again, I want my daddy to do the exact same thing. Don't change nothing. Whip me like you did.
Oh my God.
And make sure I put 50% of my income away at the age of 17 and 18 because it taught me now to manage money. All right? Alice, Olufemi is right. Yeah, you all are right. Okay. Olufemi, so wisdom is the antidote
Amen.
to poverty. I know a lot of, okay. Let me, I'm going to correct that also. If you have wisdom, you will work. So if you don't work, and you don't start a business, you dumber than dumb. So if you're talking about you got wisdom, wisdom will teach you to go work. Okay? Knowledge, applied knowledge is wisdom. So wisdom, I agree with you, Alice, is the principal thing. In all you're getting, get understanding, get wisdom. But wisdom going to cause you to go to work. Wisdom going to cause you to start a business. Wisdom going to cause you to manage your money. Wisdom, so you don't really have a poverty problem. Alice, thank you very much for that. You lack wisdom.
No.
So dumb, get some wisdom and go to work.
So amen.
All right, Tasha, right? Okay, amen. My time is up tonight, you all. I don't think I have any more time tonight. Maybe we'll continue on this next week. I thank you all for your comments. Maybe I'll invite a couple of you to be on the program with me on next week. We'll continue on the same vein. Children, developing spirit of entitlement by the children. And then we're going to dabble into parents who feel entitled that their children should do something for them. So we'll do all that next week. Well, family, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate your comments. We thank God for life. Thank God for all of you that have been able to join us. Well, tonight we're going to hang it up right here. I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele, on this week's edition of What's Going On with my beautiful wife, Lady Betty. God bless you. We love you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.